Good evening, everyone. Jesus entered a village where a woman whose name was Martha welcomed him. She had a sister named Mary who sat beside the Lord at his feet listening to him speak. Luke 10, verses 38 to 39. It's interesting that it was Martha who welcomed Jesus, but it was Mary who sat at his feet listening to him. As the story goes on, we discover that Martha took her responsibility of hospitality seriously. She was very busy preparing a meal. But it appears that Mary needed a different form of hospitality from our Lord himself. As Martha prepared to feed Jesus so as to care for his physical hunger, Mary sought to be fed by our Lord so as to feed her spiritual hunger. And interestingly, it was the generosity of Martha, who was diligent in preparing the meal, that made it possible for her sister to receive the spiritual food she longed for. When we read this story, we can easily become critical of Martha because she complained to Jesus about her sister. It is easy to see Martha's frustration in her words. Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me by myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me. And though Martha may have been a little impatient, Jesus' response to her was gentle and corrective. Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her. What was the better part? It was Mary's prayerful attentiveness to Jesus. She was hungry for his teaching, and Jesus offered it to her in a very personal and loving way. And though this image of Mary before Jesus is a beautiful image to ponder and to use as a model for our own prayer, there is also something important to be said about Martha's role in making Mary's prayer possible. Because Martha was diligent in taking care of the duties of hospitality, Mary felt the freedom to sit at Jesus' feet. Perhaps the ideal response from Martha would have been to notice that Mary was being spiritually fed by our Lord and to rejoice in that fact, giving her the continued freedom to sit at Jesus' feet. If Martha would have realized this, then she would have continued working in the background so that her sister would continue listening to Jesus. But even though Martha did not interrupt this sacred moment for her sister, the fact remains that her initial diligence in taking care of preparing the meal did give Mary some time alone with Jesus. In a similar way, we will all be given various opportunities in life to take care of the daily mundane tasks that are needed within a family or community. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that unless everyone does their equal part, then things are not fair. But being fair should not be our focus. True charity within the family means that first and foremost, we look for opportunities to better the lives of those around us. For example, spending extra time cleaning a home so that others can enjoy it more adds much to family life. or spending hours preparing a nice meal for family or friends may afford everyone the opportunity of time well spent together. These are only a couple of the countless ways that our diligence and generosity toward others is fruitful, especially within family life. Reflect today upon these two women and the unique calling they each were given at the time of Jesus' visit to their house. One was called to be fed by our Lord as she sat at his feet. The other was called to work hard so that to make it easier for her sister to receive that spiritual nourishment. Know that both of these callings are important. For that reason, if God calls you to be like Martha at times, rejoice in that fact and work hard at serving in many ways. If God calls you to be more like Mary at times, then rejoice in those moments and sit prayerfully at the feet of our Lord, being fed by His holy words. And God bless you.
Iisa lamang ang kinakailangan. Mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, nandito po tayo ngayon sa 16 na linggo ng karaniwang panahon. Matutunghayan po natin sa ating Ebanghelyo kung paano nagbisita ating Panginoon sa kanyang pinakamalapit na mga tagahanga. Si Marta, si Maria, mga kapatid ni Lazarus. Dito po mga kapatid, matutunghayan natin ang dalawang uri ng paglilingkod. Paglilingkod sa aktibong pamamaraan na kung saan kinakatawan ni Marta, at ang paglilingkod natin sa ating Panginoon sa kontemplatibang pamamaraan na kinakatawan po ni Maria. Ang ating Panginoon ay malugod na tinanggap ni Marta na meron po siyang kapatid na si Maria. Malaman po natin kung paano si Marta abalang-abala sa mga bagay-bagay ng paglilingkod ng ating Panginoon. Abala po siya sa pagkain, abala po siya sa pagtanggap na sana ang bahay nila ay malinis, lahat po handang-handa na. Subalit meron din po siyang kapatid na si Maria. Abalang-abala lang po siya sa pagkikinig sa paanan ng ating Panginoon Hesus. Hindi po siya naglaan ng panahon na kung saan malihis niya ang kanyang sarili sa pagkikinig, sa pagtanggap nating Panginoon sa kanyang sarili. Kaya nga po, sinabi ni Marta, Panginoon, sabihan po ninyo ang aking kapatid na si Maria na kahit papano'y tumulong man lang sa akin. Napakarami akong ginagawa. Subalit parang wala siyang ginagawa. Nandun lang sa impanan, nakikinig. Subalit ang tugon natin Panginoon, mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, sabi po niya, Marta, Marta, naliligalig ka sa napakaraming bagay. Subalit isa lang ang pinakamahalaga at pinaka-importante. Ginawa ni Maria ang dapat gawin. pakikinig sa presensya ng ating Panginoon. Sa ating paniniwala, mga kapatid, wala pong komplekto ika nga. Bagkus mayroong complementarity ika nga na sa pagsilbi ng ating Panginoon, hindi gaano kahalaga. Marami tayong ginagawa para sa Kanya. Tapos napakahalaga na gumawa tayo sa mga bagay-bagay o tungkol sa paglilingkod ng Panginoon tulad kay Marta. Subalit ang napaka-importante kung tayo po ba ay naglalaan, nagbibigay ng panahon na kung saan tahasan tayo nakikinig, tahasan tayo nakikisalamuha. Pinapapasok natin ang Panginoon, lalo-lalo na sa ating pagdarasal, lalong-lalo na sa ating panalangin, na kung saan tayo nakakakuha ng iba yung lakas, iba yung sigla, ibang inspirasyon sa buhay. Si Marta at si Maria ay gumagawa ng mabubuting bagay para sa ating Panginoon. Subalit, nakakahigit si Maria. Dahil po, siya naglalaan mismo ng panahon sa pakikinig, presensya ng ating Panginoon. Kung meron pong komplekto sa pamagitan ng tahas ng paglilingkod sa paggawa ng mga bagay-bagay at ang pakikinig sa ating Panginoon, ang napaka-importante, napakalaga ay kung paano po tayo nakikinig, nagbibigay ng atensyon, nagbibigay ng panahon sa ating Panginoon Diyos. Pleasant Sunday po sa kanilang lahat.